the left, ostensibly speaking, air quotes, being like left of the Democrats. We're like we're the most visible we've been probably in 50 years in terms of like the amount of cultural cachet we have. So like, yay. But in that 50-year period, the right really got a serious lead in terms of the culture wars, their media savvy, their manipulation of the media, the Newt Gingrich and trucker radio in the 90s. The story of how Newt Gingrich built the modern Republican Party is a slow, methodical process. And so to counteract that, we do need slop, but to sustain it, we do need that slow, methodical processing. We do need...
Because Newt Gingrich, Rush Limbaugh, Glenn Beck, and all of the new media had ultimately a right-wing project associated with it. It wasn't just about saying Democrats are gay and also want to abort your children. Like there was a political mobilization that the audience was directed towards, and then that agenda was completely in line with the Republican Party. It worked so well within the Republican media infrastructure and within the party structure as well. Whereas these guys are trying to recreate that by simply saying like, fuck Donald Trump or whatever, right? And of course they have to only say that because if you want to work within the Democratic Party structure,
that's got to be your first step.
That's the only thing you have, because the Democrats don't have any policies that you can associate with that we should be fighting towards,
right? Because
they themselves don't actually want those policies to be implemented, because they themselves are also funded by the exact same capital interests. Yeah. And that's the major issue here, is that there is the Democratic Party's base is directly at odds, and their needs are directly at odds with the Democratic Party's actual implementation of a legislative agenda, a decipherable legislative agenda. This is what I've been talking about with like the Pod Johns and everybody else. Like the notion that the Democratic Party is still going to ultimately be a status quo party is gone. You can't keep that up. You can't just like aesthetically try to make yourself more radical presenting while simultaneously you're not actually advocating to improve the working class material conditions. So, yeah, this is Aaron Parnas. Like he says like Israel's not committing a genocide. The United States will stand with Israel, praying for Israel tonight. Despite what some may try to claim, the state of Israel has a right to exist and a right to defend itself against terrorism. I stand with Israel and Israel high. This is an issue where you are finding yourself increasingly on the margins on. Like, there is no real popular mobilization. It's only like Hasbara bots and like Israeli Knesset funded special interest organizations that are trying to create momentum around it, but it doesn't it's not real.